Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, Clara Andriola joins us. She's the Washoe County Commissioner and here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain. And for over 90 years, the Nevada Trucking Association has been the voice for the men and women in the trucking industry. From Carson City to Washington, D.C., we advocate for policies to protect our trucking companies and keep commerce flowing. Because Nevada's and America's prosperity is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
Take a look at Pro Group Management and see how your workers' comp requirements can be met head-on. By taking a proactive approach, Pro Group can assure that your company is meeting or exceeding state and federal standards. As you move forward in your industry, Pro Group moves with you, simplifying regulatory tasks, clearing the way so you can get the job done and look to your future success. Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Retail's impact on Nevada's economy? Enormous. 8,600 businesses, large and small, employing 145,000 workers. And last fiscal year, retail paid tax on nearly $60 billion in sales. We're the Retail Association of Nevada. We support retail, we help it grow, and we mean business.
RANNV.org.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad on No Holds Barred Political Forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're always pleased to welcome back to the program, and I'm sorry it's been so long, Clara Andriola. She's the Washoe County Commissioner, Republican for District 4. Pleasure to have you back on the program.
Thank you for the invitation. It's great to see you.
Well, you are very welcome. And you have worked for years, not anymore, but with the Reno Rodeo Foundation. The Reno Rodeo just wrapped up. Your thoughts?
Well, it's the wildest, richest rodeo in the West. It has close to 1,000 volunteers who give back to this community in more ways than one. Sold out all 10 nights. It's a great way for the entire family to enjoy the most patriotic opportunity. When Bob Tallman does his opening prayer, if people aren't touched, no matter what their affiliation with their religious beliefs, it's just about America, and I love every single moment of it.
And Bob Tallman is a legend. He has been the voice of the rodeo forever.
That's right, and he's a Northern Nevadan.
Yes, from Winnemucca.
Yeah, right out of Winnemucca.
Another thing that was a little bizarre, and I know it's not your district, but you may have more information on it, the fireworks barge at Incline Village sank. Do we know any more about this? Closed beaches?
I don't. I really don't. I've only been reading and hearing what everyone is hearing as well, so I have no idea.
Okay, so we will learn more about that as time goes by. Tell me about the study that just got completed that you requested.
Thanks.
And why?
Well, I do think that, I have a strong background in organizational behavior and efficiencies, and we all want that, whether it's a for-profit, nonprofit, or government. We all want the best efficiencies as possible, and I think that there was an opportunity I saw that defining roles and responsibilities and looking at the Office of the County Manager may be an opportunity as we move forward with budget deficits and look at that as well. And I think Raf Tellis, who I didn't know was going to be the the vendor that actually did this study is well equipped to do it. I certainly am pleased with what they've dove into, and the fact that I believe that the Office of the County Manager, like any organization, it is the top level department of the entire Washoe County. And so it should be running like a well-oiled machine. And I think that most businesses who really want to continue with continuous process improvement, which I believe all organizations should look for, bring in somebody from the outside because you're so close to it.
Sure.
And I really think it's a great opportunity for everyone to recalibrate, to look at implementing those changes. And by the way, they're already starting, which is really, really great. They're already starting. There'll be some other things that when the new county manager comes on, he or she, it's within their purview. But how great to have a path of efficiency, effectiveness, and communication. There's a lot that was in that report. So I'm very, very proud of being able to say that I saw an opportunity that needed to have an independent third party, and the results is wonderful.
Okay, so there were certainly controversies over the last couple of years with the county manager, and now he resigned and has moved on. What would you say was the most significant thing you got out of this study?
I think there isn't one thing. I think there's a lot of things.
Okay, so give me your top three.
The top three
It's a half-hour show.
Accountability. I think really, well, I'll back up. I think understanding roles and responsibilities. Look, I look at Washoe County as being in the business of customer service, delivering essential services. That means that there, in my opinion, is a three-prong to the stool. Understanding the roles and responsibilities of the Board of County Commissioners, understanding the roles and responsibilities of staff, and understanding roles and responsibilities of the county manager. That seat on the stool is our community. And we need to be able to know what each other's responsible for, and more importantly, be accountable to it and work together collaboratively in order to deliver our mission. So I think that understanding boards and roles and responsibilities was critical. I think communication is critical.
And because there have been well-documented issues between the county commissioners. I'm being kind.
I'll say that any organization has an opportunity to strengthen communication. I think it's something that we need to prioritize and have prioritized through this study. And accountability. We need to have accountability. I think that processes are now being put into place. I'm a very process-driven person. I think that you need to have processes. So you should not put policy in place based on people. It should be based on the policy to make the organization better. And I think that we have now a blueprint to deliver an incredible opportunity for Washoe County to go from good to great.
And for folks in Clark County who are watching this program, just to mention that Washoe County encompasses Reno and Sparks, goes all the way up to Gerlach and Empire, up to the northern border of Nevada. But that is the main territory, so they're not confused about where Washoe County is. Let's talk about the budget because, we, I think very sensibly, after Howard Jarvis many, many years ago, got this done in California as far as property taxes go. In terms of the increases, we have a limit of 3% a year that those property taxes can increase. And yet government services the cost of those have gone up significantly. So we are looking at the county and Reno and Sparks all having deficits down the road. What are your thoughts on that? And are we going to cut things, or are we going to find other ways to increase the revenue for the county?
Well, property taxes and any change to that has to happen at the legislature, as you know better than anyone. But I do think that when we have tough times, and we all are heading into that, there are opportunities. When times are good, it seems that there really isn't a need to be looking under every crook and cranny or looking for the dimes in the couch. because things are okay. Well, things are not okay. And I think that there's an opportunity for us at Washoe County and all jurisdictions if they so choose. But I think for Washoe County, we can look at a process again that would enable us to prioritize things. I think we need to look at efficiencies and really look for those quarters in the couch. There may be things that we have in place that we could look at and maybe don't need. I think there is, even for us as individuals, when we have to reel back, we have to ask the question. And I think with government, we have to always ask the question, do we need this or do we want this? And does it meet the essential services that we as Washoe County are required to deliver? There are statutory things that we have to do, and there are things that would be great to do. And I think we should be looking at a process where we look at the statutory things, look at what that looks like, and then pass through and look at what are the things that are left and what can we pause to see if they're really needed. And I don't want anyone laid off. I don't want to have even a hiring freeze. I really was pretty adamant about not putting in a hiring freeze because I think if you're a department head, you should be looking at managing your budget, whatever that budget is, as you see fit. So you can't go past that budget line, right? But you should be able to navigate within your budget how you see fit because you're the one delivering that and you're in the trenches with that, if that makes sense. I think there's a huge opportunity that all of the jurisdictions, but again, I'll speak for Washoe County only, that we can set this path to have it be what is expected on an annual basis with budgets, which is why I'm so proud that I brought the Washoe County checkbook, which is a way for Washoe County and everyone to look at all the funding that comes in and all the expenses live. It's updated every 24 hours. And we're doing a Budget 101 training for it on July 22nd from 5:30 to 7.
Let me ask you this. I mean, obviously the largest costs for any jurisdiction is going to be fire, police, those kind of things. Are we going to have to look at those positions and say, we don't have the money for some of these positions or for increases in those positions? Because we've always been behind the 8 ball on that.
Well, the largest cost for any organization is wages, is people, is labor. That's it. I'm not sure where I was surprised, but there are 13 bargaining units within Washoe County in and of itself.
Only.
So navigating that is certainly, has its own opportunities. But I do think that the 80%, which is about what the labor costs are for Washoe County, is a pretty standard number.
Right.
So it's not unusually high, even though there have been a lot of folks that feel that it's unusually high. You're always going to find somebody that might be higher, somewhere lower. I will say that the standard for the commission, even prior to me coming, was to not be the highest paid and not to be the lowest paid, but to be in that sweet spot in the middle. And it certainly seems that we have achieved that. In terms of, whether it's the essential services of public safety and that, I think that we have to, again, look at having the experts in those fields look at what they can do and what we're spending money on that we may not be needing to spend money on. And I think that's what we have to do first before we start talking about cutting. And I don't think that we've done that. Not that I've seen anyway, but I think we need to have that priority first and start doing it right now.
Consolidation has been a topic on and off for decades. Is that back on the table?
I think the study that we're going to be seeing that came out of the legislature directive is going to be interesting. There have been several studies that have been done in the past, but none of those studies actually talk about what the cost impact would be. And I think that's the real crux of this. Yes, there are efficiencies that could be looked at, and some of those reports obviously have some recommendations. But I think we have to look at the cost and what that is and not jeopardize our community at that cost, right? So I think there's a balance that needs to take place, and I'm looking forward to the study.
All right, let's take a break and we'll come back more with Clara Andriola after this time out.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
Meet Nevada Health Link, Nevada's official health insurance marketplace. Your link to savings, selection, free assistance, and name brand health insurance, where 90% of enrollees lower the cost of their monthly premium. Everyone deserves access to quality health coverage, no matter your income or family size. Visit NevadaHealthLink.com. A few minutes could save you hundreds of dollars per month.
Nevada Health Link. Our plans are made for your plans.
It's a good time to eat. It's a good time to play.
It's a good time to win.
Ooh, your good times a Tamarack.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Clara Andriola. She is the Washoe County Commissioner for District 4. She is a Republican. We see that things are proceeding with the $1 billion investment that Alex Morello at the Grand Sierra and Sahara is investing to build this basketball arena. $1 billion investment, including potentially within the next 8 years, a hotel tower, in addition to the 2,000 rooms they already have, is huge for Northern Nevada. And my thinking is that it's going to make every other property up their game because they'll have no choice. What are your thoughts about what that's going to do in terms of growth? And you come from a construction background as part of your resume, but what do you think it's going to do for growth, and how is the county going to deal with it in addition to what Reno is going to have to do?
Well, we're experiencing growth everywhere.
Sure.
And in fact, Spanish Springs is probably one of the fastest districts. That is my district.
Which is out in Sparks.
It's out in Sparks, which is growing. I think that the opportunity for anything that can help as we're moving with economic development is a benefit to all. I think there is a trade-off, there's a balance, because there's some painful things that happen when you have growth, right? Especially with infrastructure or competition, to your point. I think it raises everybody up when you have competition. I believe in a market economy. I think that it's very, very good to do that. I think one of the things from as a whole with growth is that the way we've always been doing things is infrastructure is behind. Infrastructure is always behind. Well, I can tell you, no, it doesn't.
Really? Explain, because I don't see how you put in infrastructure prior, and the people who live here have to pay for that prior to there being the need. I understand the logic of it. The Tahoe Reno Industrial Center is the great example of that.
100%.
But
100%. But I do think that the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center is exactly a good example. So I think that there is an opportunity, and after I got appointed, I started working on it. Did I mention that government is glacial? I mean, sometimes things do not move as fast.
I've heard that.
From my perspective, I would love to have things move as fast as they possibly could. But there is legislation that's been actually in the books since even 1967. And it has to do with expanding the opportunities with special investment districts and special assessment districts. They've been used a little bit here in Northern Nevada, but not to the extent they could be. Southern Nevada has been using them successfully and continue to use them even as we're speaking. I think that there's a way to shift that narrative. I think that we could look at using the language that's already legislatively defined for the county and look at how we can balance that with roads and infrastructure. I think EDON is a partner in this particular adventure as we're looking at it. We've been having discussions about how we can do that with staff. In fact, we have a meeting. I have a meeting coming up to really explore what can be done. So the short of it is that we have the opportunity to look at maybe bonding and look at entering into public-private partnerships.
Okay, that was going to be where I was going.
And I really do believe that we should look at that because, as I mentioned, Spanish Springs, Pyramid Highway just finished phase 1. They're going to be celebrating an official 1 year celebration on next week. And so the point is that I think we have to be thinking differently. As we're going through these growth spurts, we have to think differently. And I think we need to use all the tools in the toolbox. And I'm not sure that we've done that. So is it going to be 100%? I don't know. But I can tell you I've been working on it. I think we should look at infrastructure first. I think we should look at what those opportunities are. So whether it's the Grand Sierra or other things that we don't even know about, that we can look at that, right? We're going to be out of land soon. So I think that's another thing that we have to look at.
Okay, so that you tie one of the things together here, which is Mayor Lawson was on the program from Sparks talking about, how devastating this not having a lands bill and almost praying that it will pass eventually here in the near future. He was also talking about the potential for commuter rail going from South Reno into the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center and the road from the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center over into Sparks.
Mm-hmm. But RTC's looking at that.
Yes, Bill Thomas was here last week talking about it.
And exactly. So RTC's looking at it.
But the price tag is huge.
Well, that's the balance, right? How do we pay for it? What do we do? The way that our structure works in terms of funding, and you hit on that already, the way that counties and cities and jurisdictions are funded to deliver those local essential services is actually in the hands of the legislature. But the way they've crafted it is really property taxes and then C-tax. We don't have other funding mechanisms. But I will tell you, in terms of the budget that we spoke about a few moments ago, I think there's opportunities for us to look at different things too. So for instance, Chris Sarman with the assessor's office, he's going to be doing a presentation to Washoe County, to the Board of County Commissioners. And one of the things I talked to him about is that we maybe could look at, and he brought this actually to me, is that if I had more people, I could actually go out and assess more property. So I'm just saying that the equation, I think, needs to be looked at a little bit differently than just A, B, it's always been, let's just do it this way.
So just in short, maybe we just need to be looking in those couches for more money.
I think that every quarter, every penny, I'm going to be digging. Like, we need to just have a system. And I also think that the elections are another thing that I've been really working on, and more to come on that in terms of making it truly where everyone can have a trust in this, because I don't care. And it needs to be not partisan. Everyone wants their vote to count.
Okay, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Yep.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation, and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. But it's more than just growth. Our community is our foundation, supporting families, empowering local initiatives, and creating a place where everyone belongs. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Join us in building a brighter future right here in Story County. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Welcome to the Winnemucca Big R.
Hi, I'm John Walker. Welcome to Big R Lovelock.
Hi, I'm Rich Martin. Welcome to Fallon Big R.
My name is Braden. Welcome to Big R Fernley.
Hi, I'm Kelly. Welcome to Big R Sparks.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Clara Andriola. She's the Washoe County Commissioner for District 4. So you're optimistic, it sounds to me, that we can make it through these budget crises that are coming.
I think we can.
And that's where we have to leave it.
Okay.
Thank you so much for doing
Thank
this.
you.
And please come back sooner.
I welcome the invitation.
All right, and we'll be right back.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
Carson Valley Inn, it's your place for the good times. Carson Valley Inn.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
You can always watch Nevada Newsmakers 24 hours a day at NevadaNewsmakers.com. Thanks for watching and listening.